Ever since its release, Netflix's Korean dystopian drama, Squid Game, quickly climbed the charts and became its most watched Korean show on the platform. Although people are hooked on the series' storyline as well as top-notch acting from the cast, they can't help but be impressed at the set as well. For today's video, we'll be taking a look at the set of Squid Game. Did the show use a lot of CGI? Let's get into it. By the way, today's video does contain major spoilers from the series, so consider yourself warned. Did the show use a lot of CGI? Squid Game revolves around the story of people who are in need of money and, as an act of desperation, decide to participate in a survival game at the cost of their lives. The participants need to play several children's games to survive, and whoever will not pass will be eliminated, literally, with the last remaining person taking home the 45.6 billion won cash prize. The game takes place on an island located off the coast of South Korea, but the filming took place in Daejeon, a city located in the center of Seoul. You'd be impressed that Squid Game used very little CGI in the games, and that most of the sets have been built by hand. Jung-jae, the actor who plays the lead role of Seong Gi-hoon, shared in a behind-the-scenes interview that the set built by the production was dreamlike, and they spent the first day of the shoot mostly taking pictures of it. Director Hwang Dong-Hyuk also stated that they built the set with the hidden intentions of Squid Game with us, which is survival of the fittest. While waiting for the games to begin, the players are made to wait in the doors, which housed all 456 of them, and if you look closely, you could see the foreshadowing of the games they will play since it's depicted on the walls. The game has 6 rounds, so let's try and break down some of the games depicted in the show. Was CGI used in the first game, Red Light, Green Light? The first level the players need to clear is called Red Light, Green Light, which is still played to this day and is commonly called Statues in North America and Grandma's Footsteps in the UK. For the show, they built a large open space for all the players that mimicked the outdoors. A giant doll equipped with sensor tracks that players' movements, so if she sees anyone move, they're immediately gunned down and eliminated. The players need to cross over to her side within the time limit, or else the remaining players who are unable to cross will also be eliminated. According to the show's art director, Chae Kyung-sun, the 10-foot doll was created based on the illustrations of Chil-soo and Young-hee from textbooks back when making the robot. When filming ended, the doll was put on display in Jincheon County in Chungcheongbuk-do Province, South Korea, and it was exhibited outside the entrance of the giant museum called Matcha Land. A replica of the doll was also made and displayed outside a mall's pedestrian lane in Manila, Philippines. Red Light, Green Light is a kind of game that can be played by a lot of people at the same time. It's also one of the simplest games, so we thought it could give the most shocking plot twist at the end. That's why the game is Red Light, Green Light. The actress Jung Ho-yeon, who portrayed the fan favorite Kang Se-byuk, was also in awe with the set and called it fantastic. However, no matter how much of a fantasy it is, she said the circumstances that led her, as well as the other players to play the game, were emotional, dramatic, and theatrical. Sung-jae shared that he was really shocked upon seeing the giant robot doll for the first time, saying that it wasn't what he expected and that it was actually real life. He further added that he thought the doll, as well as the trees, will all be CGI, but the production team really built the robot and that it was actually working mechanically. But it's also thanks to the director's insistence of the production team's hard work of putting the set together that helped a lot in the most of the actors' performances. Next we have the second game, Honeycomb. The next game the players are set to play is based on a traditional confectionery called Dulgana candy, which is made from melting sugar and baking soda. The second game involves the players carving out different shapes into the honeycomb in a limited time. Actress Ho-yeon said in Netflix behind-the-scene video that the honeycomb challenge was the most memorable for her, saying how the set smelled like honeycomb all day long since the instructor kept making it in the background. Kyung-sun also stated that the director requested that they use real honeycombs, hence the honeycomb master was also present on set, and the production made props and objects with the ingredients as needed so that they can make the objects which can represent the feelings of the characters. Third game, Tug of War. The third game was another game familiar to us all, which was Tug of War. But unlike the game we are all familiar with, the tug of war played on the series is set atop two opposing platforms where the two teams are positioned and chained to the rope. Losing this game meant immediate death, since losing to the other team meant falling to their deaths. In the behind-the-scenes footage of the show, the director built the set to give it more of a sense of reality to the actors' performances. Like what jung-jae said in the same behind-the-scenes cut, it was a children's game, but they had to kill someone to survive and proceed to the next level. What about the fourth game? Marbles? Proceeding to the next game, we have another one played by many children across the globe, which is marbles. Kyung-sun said in an interview that out of all the sets they built in the show, they put the most effort into it, which took a while to create. They wanted to recreate the back alleys where the children used to play back in Seoul. And the result? A stunning real-life diorama of their homes that complemented by the soft glow of the sunset. The art director also said that what they had in mind by making this set is that it should come off as life and death, fake and real, which accentuates the gravity of the player's situation. Actor Park Hae-soo found the set for the marbles game the most memorable one because he found it real and acknowledged much effort the staff put into making it for real, and in turn the actors tried really hard to bring in the personal stories of the individuals they were portraying. The playground felt so real, like the actual back alleys of the past. The actor commented in an interview with Star, "It was like being in front of the real homes of the past. It created a strange nostalgia and odd tension." Get comfy, because next we are diving into the terrifying set of the fifth game, which was elevated 1 meter above the ground, but did they use real tempered glass? Let's find out. Did the fifth game use real tempered glass? Out of all the games played in the series, it was the fifth game that actually frightened the remaining players. They were made to play glass stepping stones, wherein one wrong step would mean falling to their deaths. Actress Ho-yeon even went as far as calling the filming for the fifth game terrifying, since the set was elevated 1 meter above the ground and with real tempered glass. Director Dong-Hyuk explained how the set brought out the emotions of the actors while filming and how it made them frightened in the behind-the-scenes cut. A mere 1.5 meters can make you frightened, director Dong-Hyuk began to explain. The glass made them nervous. I think we could express the unnoticed rigidity and the fear of the body. It felt like really jumping off a high bridge. The game was real, and they felt real fear. Their bodies showed that fear. We think that set had the power of realism. Sixth game, Squid Game. The last game was none other than Squid Game, which was also filmed on the set of the first game, but this time it's between the two leads of the show. Chai Kyung-sun shared that it was deliberately filmed like that since they wanted to tell a story about the character's personal dispute instead of focusing on the game. Actor Park Hae-soo stated that out of all the filming in the games, the last one was the most memorable since it was the most physical and emotional since it was the last round, he told Star. The art director also said they focused more on the fairy tale-like, somewhat uncanny feelings, which is how they finished filming the last set. Overall, the filming set for Squid Game is grandiose and tells the compelling story of how flawed the social system is and how the players are left in despair and sadness. Kudos also to the production staff and the director for choosing to use little CGI and special effects for the set and filming, which brought out the actors' genuine feelings of terror and fear. And with that, we're wrapping up today's episode about Netflix's hit series Squid Game and why it rose in popularity among others. The option to use little CGI has enhanced the cast's acting, and for that, we have nothing but praise for the whole team behind the show. Have you watched the series yet? If not, go ahead and binge watch it and let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go, and we'll see you in the next episode.